a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with danger. A place that is gentle, kind and light, where nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place with smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, where time seems to rewind and to youth we are returning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I think I got on too heavy of a sweater in this little room. It's going to get warm. Anyway, hope you're doing well this morning. Maybe you are absolutely out the picture. And I don't know if I got my camera set wrong or not. Let me see. I might just have to do some tweaking. Get you in here. I don't think my camera was moved, but let's see. Okay, let's see if that'll work. Move it a little bit. Bear with me, you guys. I think that's better. All righty. Let me move my banner out of the way. We can get going. And hit the like button. I can tell you that right now. Just go ahead and hit the like button. That'll do that. My favorite scripture, one of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a new future," and a future. Or in the King James Version, it says an expected end. So, yeah, I like that promise that we have already from the Lord. I hope you're doing well. Here in the Carolinas, it's nice and cool. Leaves are falling, and we got oodles of them, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oodles. So if you clean your yard today, this evening they'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of them blowing now.
Yeah. Let's see who's here. This morning. My sister and brother-in-law. Good morning to you, and good morning, Sinette. She said autumn chill in Denmark. Yeah, it's like that here too. It's like that here in the Carolinas. And fortunately, there's no hurricanes at the moment, and we're grateful for that. No bad weather anywhere right now, and we're still praying for the people who were impacted by those hurricanes and left them without the necessities of life. Good morning, Dee Dee.
Good morning.
Good morning, George. Good morning, Sandra. Hello, Vern. Good morning, Destiny. Glad you're here.
Destiny.
And Kathy's here. Glad you're here. There's Brother Kay. Hey, Brother Kay. Good morning. Jill's here this morning.
Jill.
Hey, sweetheart. And then there's Leslie. Hey, Leslie. Hope you and Dad are doing well, and all the families doing well there in Pittsburgh. And there's Keely. I was thinking about you this morning, you and Mark. We got to get together again. John Greason Day. And there's Phyllis and Edward. So glad to see you this morning. Brother Blue and the family is here. And all of you who are not commenting on the screen, who are watching us incognito. Welcome. You got something good this morning to share?
Yeah, we got a little taste of something here.
Well, before you're thinking about it, let me go ahead and remind everybody about your birthday. Your
Oh,
birthday
yeah.
breakfast, and I hope you guys can make it to that breakfast on the Saturday, the 16th of this month. And Pastor's birthday is gonna, it's his 77th birthday.
Yep. Going up the hill to 100.
You're going up the hill for real.
81st, but I'll get it.
We are both going up the hill, up the hill. Oh, by the way, did you guys get my little quick video about changing setting your clock back? Let me know. I just wondered if you did, because I did it yesterday. I was looking terrible when I did it, but I did it yesterday, and I was hoping that it would get to a bunch of you. I put it on Facebook and I did it on YouTube. So I'm hoping you saw it. Let me know if you saw it. Okay. I'm still learning how to be a little tech savvy around here, but we're getting there. Anyway, don't forget Pastor's birthday. It's going to be on the 16th, and that's on Saturday morning at Golden Corral. That's on the Landview Drive, Golden Corral.
That's off of Wendover.
Is it off of Wendover?
Mhm.
I think it is. I don't know. We'll have to GPS it. They've got a couple in Greensboro, don't they?
I'm
Golden
the one was
Corrals.
off of right close to Interstate 40.
No, we went to another one once before.
But that's not the one, is it?
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the streets. So anyway, we will be there. Use your GPS, or if you guys live in Greensboro, you already know where that is. And we're going to be starting early at 9:30 because it's breakfast, and it will only last till 11. So don't be late. Don't be late. Sandra said she got the message that I sent out about changing the clock. Yeah. Hey, Sister Sharon. Hey, Sister Chris. I'm glad you guys are here. She said hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses to you, honey bun. Hugs and kisses to you.
Sandra Lee.
So I assume nobody else got
Sharon
that
Hurston, all of
video
you.
that I did. I don't know.
Miss Phyllis and Edward, all you guys. Brother Blue, all of you.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to do a meditation this morning, but I am going to read something to you. And this is from a little small book by let me move Pastor out the way here. This little small book called Know Yourself. Know Yourself. I had a few questions I wanted to ask, and I'm going to weave them into whatever Pastor's talking about this morning, because we don't collaborate. I don't know what he's going to talk about. He doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. It just kind of intuitively blends together. So I have several questions. One of the questions is, what happens after awakening? The second question is, what is the proof of being awakened? And the third question is, which is probably one we can all really explore, what is the nature of God? If we know the nature of God, we'll know what the description of us should look like, because we are that. And I know that, and I wanted to say this may offend some people. I hope it doesn't, but it may. Christianity in this nation, our new United States. That's what Jimmy Sweat used to say. New United States.
New United States.
In these new United States, Christianity in these new United States is kind of jacked up right now. We all have different values and different beliefs, and it is divided within itself. It is broken. I believe there is a true Christianity, but what we're pretty much seeing now and experiencing that is called Christianity is far, far from it. So I've been thinking about if we call ourselves Christians, some of us do, some of us no longer do, there should be certain traits, certain characteristics, certain aspects that look just like God. If that is the case, that we are truly Christians. And that's not because we're trying so hard to be that, but because that is our true nature. And there is nothing else. And I'm going to read this little out of this book, and you'll kind of know where I'm coming from with that. So I want to take a good close look at what it means to be a true Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, it means your allegiance is to Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
That's the number one thing.
That's right.
If nothing else,
Mhm.
that would make you a Christian.
Mhm.
In the sense, and by the way, the word Christian was what that term came about, not so much as a term of endearment. It was back in the day when they realized people who were following Jesus Christ, they
Mhm.
tacked that name on it,
Mhm.
and it was not one that they were saying was a comment.
Mhm.
So we have taken it and adopted it as if it is something that is,
Mhm.
it makes us the elite. But in back when it was actually originated, it was used like the N word is used now.
Mm.
Like when we say ninja, it was used like that. So, but Christianity, the religion of Christianity, is broken in our day and time. But I believe the spirit of Christianity is something totally different
Yeah, I
and
bet.
cannot be broken
Right.
because it is our allegiance to Jesus Christ. And by the way, if your allegiance is not to Jesus Christ, that is not to say that you have to go the path that we have gone.
Mhm.
We came this way because Jesus revealed himself to us. And in that revelation, it opened us up to even more awareness of who God is and who we are, what God is and what we are. So your allegiance to Jesus Christ or not doesn't change what you are.
That's right.
It doesn't change what you are.
And the eternal self, the essence of the Christ identity inside of us automatically alienates us from all enemies, wicked works,
Mhm, mhm,
and you are reckoned from that position inside of you, reconciled unto God,
mhm,
and that the
Mhm.
body of our flesh is dead to the degree that it cannot produce the Christ consciousness unless the Christ consciousness inside of you move over into that infected, I call, body. And when that happens, the whole man is aware of the whole Christ. But being that that infirmity is there, because the strength of the Christ consciousness is who we are,
mhm.
that automatically, by grace, has already sanctified our physical bodies
Yeah, yeah,
to be one with
yeah,
Christ.
yeah. I didn't ask you guys, but let me know if you're hearing and seeing us clearly. I didn't ask you that, and I want to make sure that you are. I don't want you to miss anything. Is it okay if I read
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Again, this is from a book called Know Yourself, and I think it's a Sufi that wrote this. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Good morning, Noel. Good morning, Sister Pearl. Um, so let's see, where do I want to start? It says, whoever knows their self knows their Lord. Praise belongs to God, before whose oneness there is no before, unless the before is He, and after whose singleness there is no after, unless the after is He. He is, and there is not with Him any before or after, above or below, closeness or distance, how or where or when, time or moment or duration, manifested existence or place. And he is now as he has always been. This is speaking of God unmanifest, okay? He is the one without oneness and the single without singleness. He is not composed of name or those that are named, for his name is him, and those that are named is him. And there is no name or named other than him. He is the first without firstness, and the last without lastness. He is the apparent without appearance. Oh, I love that.
Mm. Read that again.
He is the apparent without appearance,
Mm.
and the hidden without hiddenness. I mean that he is the very existence of the letters of the names, the first and the last, the apparent and the hidden. There is no first or last, apparent or hidden, except him, without the letters which form these divine names, becoming him, and without him becoming these letters. Understand this so as not to make the mistake of those who believe in incarnation, those that believe in being a body. He is not in anything. This is talking about your God and your nature, your God nature as well. He is not in anything, and no thing is in him, whether entering into him or coming out of him. It is in this way that you should know him, and not through theoretical knowledge, reason, understanding, not with the senses, the external eye, or interior sight or perception. No one sees him except himself.
Mm.
No one teaches him
Okay. No
except
one
himself.
sees him
except himself.
except himself. Boy, I like that.
Mhm.
Now I know who sees me and who sees him
Who sees Christ
and
in
who
others?
see Christ in others
Only Christ can
and
see
see
Christ.
Christ as us.
Yes, only Christ can see Christ. Yes,
Oh gosh, that's good.
and not only that, Christ can't see anything but Christ. No one.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's all. That's the
yeah.
hey, that baked the cake right
That
there.
bakes the cake right there. No one sees him except himself. No one.
That's the icing on the cake.
It is. No one teaches him except himself, and no one knows him except himself.
Mm-hmm.
He knows himself through himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees himself by means of himself.
Mm-hmm.
No one but he sees him. His veil is his oneness, since nothing veils him other than him. His own being veils him. His being is concealed by his oneness without any condition. Oh, that's so good. Good.
Well, you
Lord,
could
that's
chew
good.
on that, couldn't you?
Yeah. And for those who came in a little late, I'm reading from a little book called Know Yourself, and it's about this is actually the description of God in our as unmanifest.
And unveiled to consciousness.
Mhm.
No longer veiled away,
Mhm.
but veiled as consciousness
Mhm.
and the pure self.
Mhm.
The pure self is that Christ that is eternal in all of us.
Yes. Now, want to read a little more?
Yeah, I'm about to tell you to read it over again since some just came in.
Yeah, well, yeah, they'll have to go back and listen
Yeah,
later.
go
But
ahead.
it's no one other than he sees him.
That's right.
No sent prophet.
If I see you and he showed me that I see him in your eyes looking out
It
at
is-
the
it
Christ
is-
in me.
It is
That's him
seeing
seeing and looking
himself.
out
Yes.
and seeing himself.
Yes. Yes.
Standing
yes.
in front of himself.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. No one other than he sees him. No sent prophet, no perfect saint, no angel brought close knows him. His prophet is he.
Ooh.
His messenger is he.
In spite of the weakness and the infirmities of the mind body, this is set in place with or without the approval of your feelings, your church, how much you prayed, how much you worshiped, how much you danced, how much you heard music, how you feel or not feel. I got a list of what you just said right
Yeah.
here. And I was in the other
Yeah.
room while you were reading that and got the same thing.
I know it is wonderful.
You deserve some sugar.
Well, we had hugged. You want some sugar?
You.
Okay. He said,
She kissed a married man.
listen, he said, where did I stop? Okay.
I didn't mean to mess you up.
Yeah, you tore me up.
I messed your mind up, girl.
Yeah. His prophet is he. His messenger is he.
Yes.
His message is he.
Yes.
His word is he. He sent himself from himself.
Oh my God.
Through
I said it,
himself.
didn't I?
Listen.
Ooh.
He sent himself from himself,
Uh-huh.
through himself,
Yes.
to himself.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
I gotta read that one again.
Somebody slapped my jaw,
Oh my goodness.
knocked me down, and called me shorty.
Well, I can't call you short.
No.
Listen. He sent himself.
Mm, mm,
Now,
mm.
those of you who feel like you've been sent and called and all that stuff, he sent him.
Don't even have to go through all of
Well,
that.
listen.
Go ahead.
If you think you've been called, if
Mhm.
you know you've been called or sent, he says he sent himself from himself,
Mm,
through himself,
mm, mm.
to himself.
Ooh, tasty. What page is that? That's on page 19.
19.
Ooh.
Ah,
Kill a rock record train and dare a piece of iron against rheumatism.
now listen.
Mhm.
There is no difference between the sender, that which is sent, and the one to whom it is sent.
Read that. Yep. Did y'all hear that?
Oh my God.
That doesn't take it. That doesn't say anything about you changing, getting better, not doing certain things, breaking certain habits, getting more information, trying to get to the next church or get somebody to prophesy to you, speak a word over you. No longer trying to read everything in the Bible to prove that you are a Christian, that you are a saint. Any of that. Read it again.
And yes. Oh
Yes.
God, this is so good.
Yes.
I'm feasting in it.
Oh, come on.
I'm marinating. As
Yes,
you
you are.
All right, let me start from this.
Tenderizing your meat.
All right, I'm going to read this again. No one other than he sees him. No sent prophet, no perfect saint, no angel brought close knows him. His prophet is he. His messenger is he.
Ooh.
His message is he.
Yes.
And his word is he.
Yes.
He sent himself
Yes.
from himself.
From himself.
Through himself. To himself. Wow.
Now somebody said, but that's talking about God and Jesus.
It is.
It is.
But this is the depiction of what oneness is.
Check your fine print on your insurance, and it's called the addendum. It's telling you things about your contract that was made without you being present in physical body.
Yeah.
After you came and found out about it.
Yeah. So these words are simply painting a picture of what oneness looks like.
That's the picture. That's the image.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now watch this. What would it be like if you take what she just said and stand in the mirror
and
say this in first person?
Yeah. Well,
can you read that? Can you think you read that in first person? I sent myself. Okay, go ahead.
See. Let me see if I can. All right, I'd have to change the he to me.
Me. Okay, I.
All right, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see how it goes.
So I am.
We're gonna see. No one other than
Me
sees me.
sees me.
No sent prophet, no perfect saint, no angel brought close to me knows me. I don't know how I'm gonna do this
But
one.
they know me.
I'm gonna say it like this.
Okay.
As a prophet, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't
I
do it.
could do it. I could do it for you.
Well,
Okay.
here, try.
Okay.
Try it. Because see,
What you
it's throwing me away from oneness. I have to.
I accept myself.
No, it's right here.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
I see him as me. And when I was sent in him, I sent myself as a prophet. I sent myself to my perfect self as perfect saint. The angels that came close to me know me as I know him.
See, the problem with
As the prophet I am, I decided in heaven to be the messenger he sent.
but now hold it for a
The
second.
message, wait a minute. The message that was sent was me, and the word that he gave me to say is me and him. He sent me as himself and himself as me through himself to myself back to himself.
There's only one problem with this.
Okay.
I mean, it's good that you did it.
Yeah.
Because what it says is, who is the me?
Him.
The me is he.
That's he.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
The
It's
me
easy. It's
is
easy.
he. So when you know the me is he, then it doesn't sound like you're doing this as as a separate self.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way I was reading it there
Yeah,
is
I
the way I
understand
was
what you're-
taught how to say everything about me that is said about him.
I understand.
any
Yes,
book.
yes. It's kind of difficult. You have to really
I
really
understand.
work it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm working it as I
Yeah, I
read
know.
it. Yeah.
I know.
He
I know.
taught me how to do that.
So let me go back up to this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. He taught himself me how to do that. Him.
Well, see, he wouldn't teach me.
But the me is him.
Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Then I find out.
Look now,
Okay, go ahead.
you're taking us in a whole other direction.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no one sees him except himself.
That's me.
No one teaches him except himself.
That's me.
Okay, so
Okay.
now how would you say that? No one teaches him except himself.
No one teaches me because I am him.
No, you can't add all that stuff.
Well, I have to. I have to because that's who I am, saying it to myself.
So the thing is that the mind hijacks it.
Well, no, I mean, I
The
understand
mind
what you're
hijacks
saying.
it because it said, I teach myself. The mind hijacks
The
that.
teaching of myself is him teaching the self, the real self, how to see himself.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
real
I
self.
hear you. I hear you.
Mhm.
I know that there's the potential of the mind hijacking it. And then there being a
But
self that feels like it is.
if you are not the mind,
I know we're not.
then there's no mind hijacking.
That's true. But now are you saying it won't
No,
hijack?
but
Are you saying it won't hijack that?
I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying you learn how to look beyond it.
Okay. That's everybody may not be able to do it.
Well, I just did it.
I know you did.
And I'm showing you how to do it.
Okay.
But because I showed you, it's not enough. You'll have to catch it by insight.
That's
That's what I've done.
So
I'm sorry. That's what he has done. Wait a minute. That's what I've done.
see,
the
you're
eye-
too analytical.
No, it's not analytical. It's very easy.
Well, for you it is because you got that kind of analytical thinking.
Is that analytical?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay, let me see where
I marvel at what I wrote in that book to myself.
I know you do. To yourself that is not.
So I'm saying that
is
the
not
one
the
that wrote
Clifton
that,
self. That
what
is
I'm
not the Clifton
saying,
self.
the one that wrote that was the I am self.
It is. That's true. Now, can I go a little bit further?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's see where I want to start. Whoever knows their self knows their Lord.
Okay.
He also said, I knew my Lord through my Lord.
That's it.
You are not you, but you are him,
I am not me.
and there is no you.
I am not him.
That's what I was
I
saying.
am him. I'm not myself. The self that I am, the real self, is him.
Is him. Yes. So I'm gonna read that one again. You are not you,
There's no you.
but you are him, and there
There's
is no
only
you.
him,
And
and
there
there's
is no
never been
you.
a me.
Mhm. Now let's go further. It is not that he enters into you.
That's
Woo!
right.
Now that,
That's
see,
right.
there you go.
There you go.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Now, then we're talking oneness.
Uh-huh.
We're
Say,
talking
say it
oneness.
again.
There is no you.
Now you have to soak in this.
And we're talking oneness because there is no me for God to enter into.
And this
because
is what
the me that I think I am is God Himself.
this is what you call tenderizing the steak.
And of course, again, this is what oneness looks like. Now, if you stay in separateness, if you stay in the mindset of God is He and I'm a me,
Okay.
then you will
Watch
not be
this.
able to handle
This is what you call tenderizing the steak. Now, let me repeat it again. This is what you call tenderizing the me that thought it was independent, but is now tenderized to be him.
Mhm. That's true. Let me see what some of the comments are saying. First of all, Jill said, there is only one. Pastor Norman, hey, Pastor Norman says, amen. Sissy says, not a separate self.
That's right.
Sister Chris says, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
Okay.
Kayla Brown, hey, Kayla, she says, singularity.
Okay.
Yes. Singleness.
Okay.
Yes. And Jill says, a Marvel movie had an encrypted message that said, he that remains. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now, once you catch this, once you get, I've thought about giving you the in-depthness of more of this when Jesus said, have I not been so long with you? That's moved it with her. Have I not been so long?
Because
You
see, now you just said that to move the with out because I had just read before that that there is no with.
There you go. Have
In oneness,
have
there's
I
no
not been
with.
so long you and you've not? Yes, say that. And we have not seen it or aware of it.
Now, let me say this before we start practicing saying it for ourselves. It's important that we get a good picture of what oneness is, and that's what we're trying to do this morning. Now, Brother Blue says this, and this is a common way of thinking about it. And I know when years ago we started at the point of teaching union, which is good. Most of us stop there. That I am one with. Union means there's this hand and this hand. If I want them to be one, I have to bring them together. But in oneness, they've never been apart. You hear me?
Yeah, I understand.
In oneness, they've never been apart. So there was no really the word union. We use that, but there was no coming together.
Now let me go ahead.
The only place that we feel we come together with God is in our feelings and in our thinking. But in actuality, there's never been no apart.
That is removed. Now watch this. Now you just read that this one. I want you guys to listen to what I'm going to say to you. That I went in the front room. I was in the front room while she's in there looking at that. And here's what I wrote.
Okay.
When we are free or see it is revealed that we are the freedom of God, all madness is removed, and there is no more I, you, or us. There is no more black, white, big, small, good or bad. There is no more trying to find God or to hear God. Get more, no more trying to get more of God, no more rich or poor. There is no more religion. There's no more given and taken from us. No more ups and down days. No more good days, bad days. No more feeling bad or feeling sick or good. dry days, rainy days, snowy days. No more weak or strong. No more less of God and no more less of God and more of God. No more trying to be like God. No more trying to change a part of us to be more God than it. No more God in some things and not in others.
I want to use the analogy that I've used so many times before. We both use this analogy of the ocean and the wave.
Mhm.
The ocean, the vast ocean, expresses itself by coming up out of this vastness into a manifested form called a wave. When it comes up and manifests itself as a wave, we give the ocean a different name, but it is still the ocean that has come up and expressed itself as a wave. Can a wave receive water? Can water go into the wave, and can water come out of the wave? Yes or no?
Before you say the water in my mind, I heard the word water.
Yeah, but I mean, the question, tell me, can water go into a wave or come out of a wave? Is there such a thing of going in? Can water go into it and out of it? Answer me, you guys. I want you to type it in. What do you think? What do you think? If the wave is simply the ocean that came up out of its vastness and expressed itself as an individual, is it separate from that was in the vastness? That was the vastness. Is the wave separate from the ocean? Can it say, I'm a me, and the ocean is a he?
Okay.
Can water enter into the wave?
Okay. Yeah.
It can? How can it?
From the sky, it drops.
No, see, you're getting too analytical.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
We're talking about the ocean and the wave.
Okay. Okay.
The ocean and the wave. Can the ocean enter the wave as water? Kayla, thank you. She says no, because it is water. It always was water.
Okay.
Yes. This is what we're saying about you. And Sissy said it's the same. So if we see ourselves as coming out of the vastness of what God is, yes, it manifested itself as an us. But that us that it manifests as is still the same, that is the vastness. And that it manifested eventually is going to, it came into being, and it's going to run a course, and then it's going to go right back into the vastness. So it was never the wave separate as a separate entity. It was always the ocean that came up and expressed itself. And it is always the ocean that runs the course. And it's always the ocean that goes back into itself.
We are the drop of water that falls from the sky and eventually returns back home.
Yes. So now you said water can enter itself, the wave. Water can enter the vastness, as like you said, rain. But that rain came from the vastness.
That's right.
It went up.
That's right.
Evaporated as a cloud.
It returns.
It manifested as a cloud with water and came back into itself.
Right.
So either way you go, it's all the same. It's all the same.
Listen to this. Every baby that I've talked to in the womb, while we were in the womb itself was a door that we came through.
Yes. Yes.
When we entered in that door, the physicality, we were not sleep. We were awake,
Mm-hmm.
or the awakeness of our essence. We went through another door, coming out of the womb into this world. When we came out of the womb into this world, we were like drops of water
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in water. But as we stayed here, we found out that the water was evaporated through the conditions of this world.
Yes.
Now that we have entered, the waters entered into this world, the journalist's journey is coming. It is called letting us therefore not sleep as do some, but let us watch and be sober.
Mm-hmm.
As we stay here in the water as drops, returning back home.
Mm-hmm.
Returning back home is not physical walking, riding, or flying.
Yeah.
Returning back home is returning to who we were in the womb as the Christ. Every child that comes into this world, even though they are invisible from the beginning, if there was, is a Christ,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
is the true identity of every one of us that come into the womb.
Because they can't be anything else, because
Right.
there is nothing else.
And when they say,
There is only
right,
God or Christ, however you want to say it.
right,
There is only that. There is nothing else. So everything that is came out of it. And not so much came out of it, but is an expression of it.
and the old saying is born in sin and wrapped in iniquity in the mother's womb. You know what that means? We, as the pure self, came into the wrappings of the womb and the sounds and vibrations of this dimension, which caused a certain part of us to block out our true identity, and it is called sleep.
Mhm.
Crucifixion is you waking up from the story, not leaving your body before and finding out before it is time to leave the body.
Mhm.
The body don't stop, you release it as the
Exactly.
pure self.
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
only one being that can leave the body and still exist as the Christ, and that is himself.
That is himself. Yes, yes, yes.
Leaving the body,
Exactly, exactly.
coming into the world,
Yes.
leaving this world, returning back home in the body. Paul says to be absent from the body, be present with the Lord. But to be in the body is also to be present with the
With
Lord,
the Lord.
but waking up from the sleep, from the dream.
Mhm.
Now, let me tell you something. This is what I found out. The more you draw nigh unto God as being your true identity, the less you want to tell people who you are. Even in this teaching, we're telling you things that you could not dare say in the church or any. I've tried it even with people in people's homes in different places. They cannot hear it because you must find out that as the voice of God that you always been can only drop himself upon those whom has been prepared by the Christ self in them to hear the Christ speaking to the Christ that they are.
Yes, I wanted to kind of piggyback on something Kayla's mentioned. She says, "We are the way from the water of the womb."
That's
I
right.
I want to turn it around just
That's
a little
right.
bit.
Woo,
I
woo.
want to turn it. We are the wave that came from the womb of God, and so God has a womb,
Wee.
and God birthed itself into this earth
Mm.
existence.
Yes, he did.
Yes, God has birthed itself into this earth existence, not just as human beings,
That's right.
but as everything we see. Everything we see is God expressing itself, birthing itself into this existence.
That's right.
Everything.
Now, there is not a dry bone in any of us. every last one of us carry like the dew in the morning has already rested upon our soul. I've changed the words of it. But this dew of the mist of God is the mystery of godliness.
Yes. Can I read just a little bit more?
Little bitty more.
Just a little bit more, okay? Whoever knows their self knows their Lord. He also said, I knew my Lord through my Lord. What the prophet pointed out by that is that you are not you, but you are him, and there is no you.
I just said that.
It is not that he enters into you.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
The water can't enter into the way.
Go ahead.
Okay. Or that you enter into him. Or that he comes out of you. Or that you come out of him. And we understand this now. We see. We see.
It is clear.
The
clearer you are,
yes, we see it.
the clearer he is.
All right. Now let's see. Let's read a little more.
Go ahead.
That doesn't mean that you have being and you are qualified by this or that attribute. What is meant is that you never were and never will be, whether through yourself or through him or in him or with him. You have neither ceased to be, nor are you existent. You are him and he is you. Without any of these imperfections.
Not in it, without any change.
If you know your existence, then you know God. And if not, then not.
Somebody wants you to hold the title of that book up again.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I do.
Mhm.
Wow.
Look at this girl.
Wow. This is such a good way of seeing what God is and what we are, because there is nothing else. There is nothing else. It's not me saying I am God. God is me.
You know, you say it in such a way
that
that even the stilled part of others can hear it without you ever opening your mouth.
God is me. God is everything that ever was. I wanted to ask this question again. So what is this? This is an awakening, isn't it?
It is awakening.
This conversation
It is Christ
an
once
awakening.
again being raised from the dead.
You have awakened to the awareness of who you are.
Now this
This
is resurrection that we're talking about.
This is what awakening is. It's awakening to what and who you are.
Yeah.
Knowing that there is no such thing as you ever being separate from God.
That's right.
And that God cannot separate itself from what you think you are, because the you that you are is God.
This is what you call eating the hay and leaving the sticks.
Can the wave say that it's separate? No,
Every apple,
it can say it, but it won't be true.
Every apple that falls off a tree is a geographical, scientific production of itself inside of the apple as the seed.
Yes. So now, if there, let me see how I want to say this. The only part of us, I said it once before, the only part of us that even has the mind of separateness from God is that part of us that thinks and that part of us that feels.
Yeah.
We feel disconnected. We think we're disconnected. And we then act out of that belief that we're disconnected. And when we act out of that belief of being disconnected, we then sin. In other words, we misidentify ourselves.
Now, what we were taught years ago is that we got to sit down and take the Bible and read it every day in order to get more of God in us or more of Christ in us.
Kayla, you getting it, darling. She said, I awoke from a dream within a dream.
That's right. That's right.
Sweetheart, you did.
That's right.
You did.
And
yes.
You are awake now to a greater degree. The Christ consciousness as the real awakening already self is listening to himself, speaking to himself through this class and everything that anything that you hear, whether with us or anywhere, anything you do, store anything, it is your Christ self waking up to himself
Yes.
inside
So
this body.
So let's just say it like this. Out of the vastness decided it wanted to be an individual. So it raises itself up and births itself as a wave. And then as a wave, it gives itself more characteristics. It changes its shape. It has a lifetime. It runs a course. And in the process of that, it wakes, the vastness wakes up as itself in the wave, as the wave. It wakes up and the wave begins to realize, I'm the ocean. I am the ocean. And then there is no separation. Once it realizes it's the ocean, but coming up out of that vastness, it tends to forget as it runs its course as an individual that it is the vastness
Now,
itself.
let me show you something. It says in the book that my Lord speaketh unto my Lord.
Mhm.
Now, watch this. I started to practice this, and every one of you, I want to ask you to try this. And then when we come on again on Tuesday at 7, I want to get a response from you from doing this. I looked in the mirror and I said to the Christ who is looking at himself through my eyes into the mirror back at himself. Here's what I say.
Mhm. Mhm.
I see you.
Mhm.
You are me in my eyes looking at myself.
Mhm.
You can take it further if you want to, but to say this, start off. I see you, Lord, looking at yourself through these eyes.
Mhm.
Don't say my,
Mhm.
just say these.
Yes.
That's really expanded. Now you do that, start off. That will make a awareness that our brick and mortar churches teaches us, excuse me,
You sneezing. Uh-oh.
how to recognize the Christ sneezing through a physical body. When I did this, something took place, and pretty soon I began to be more sensitive to seeing him in people who wouldn't dare tell me that he is looking at himself through each of our eyes. I was aware of it. I became more aware
You
of it.
became aware of him looking
Yeah,
at himself
at himself.
in people. Yes.
I
as
would
people.
say to him, my Lord, I see you. I love you. Therefore, I love myself.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Try it.
Mhm.
And let us
Mhm.
hear from you.
Mhm.
My pipes are leaking this morning. Please forgive me, but I got the
I'm looking for something that I wrote good old ways back when we first did a conference for Lisa Natoli and her husband, Bill Free. And it was called The Reciprocal Gaze. And I don't know if I can find it now, but I would love to read it to you. But if I don't find it, we won't worry about it. But what we're talking about is what you're talking about. Standing in the mirror is what I call the reciprocal gaze, meaning what's looking at what you're looking at becomes what is looking, and there is no difference. That that's looking is that that's being looked at, and that's the reciprocal gaze. As God gazes at itself, it begins to that self that it gazes at begins to realize it is that. It is that. And so it's a beautiful thing when you think about it. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful.
We are speaking to you on the actual miracle of turning water into wine. There's no way you can get tea out of water. If you do, that's good. But if you do, you're going to find out you got tea and water separated. But once you put tea in water, when we go to drink the tea, we don't say we drink water and tea. We say, give me a glass of tea. We are the glass of tea as well as the glass container holding the tea. So I want to call you brother T, sister T, And hello, y'all little big T's out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Wake up to the tea and have a drink.
Keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can find what I'm looking
Drink
for.
your tea and drink it straight. Take a little shot of this, shake it and bake it, and see on the other side that what you put in the pot comes out on the other side, or what you bake in the make the cake out of comes out on the other side completely made whole.
Yeah.
There's no more separation of the sugar, the flour, the milk, and the what you put in there to make
That's right.
the batter,
In other
and
words,
then put it in the stove.
God's not in us like a raisin in a bun.
No.
He's in there like all of the ingredients, blended it all together. And he is the bun. He is that bun.
You give, and it is Christ giving. You receive, and it is Christ receiving.
Mhm.
Yes, Lord. Yvette, when you say yes, Lord, you're saying yes to the Christ inside of you as well as the Christ inside of us.
Mhm.
And you don't have to die and go to heaven to see God. If you understand how this switch hit and work, you'll see him as you're riding down the highway. But let me tell you what, forgetfulness of this and getting distracted by bills, people, what they say, will become less and less
Mhm.
a problem,
Mhm.
and it will be transformed in the blender. God is the blender inside of us that's blending all things into one
Yes,
cake.
yes.
And when you cut one piece,
yes.
one piece seems like you're not eating all the cake, but you're eating all of it as one piece. Now that to me, that's a deal. So now we can also say, now I would say this to you again. I have run a test on this thing in public, and the Christ in you loves through you and is the love of God that is loving people, and they don't know that they are the love of God that loves you without even saying a word as you pass somebody.
Yeah.
And since, let me tell you about this. There was a neighbor when I was walking with my walker up the street the other day around the corner, and he pulled out his driveway before I got to him, and he had an appointment. I'm sure it was a VA appointment, something like that. And when he got out the driveway, I saw him go to another driveway as he made the turn to the main road. He pulled in the drive and backed out and come back around. And he said to me when he got up on me, traffic, everything, I hadn't seen you in so long. I wanted to say something to you and see how you're doing. I talked to him and I told him that I would let you know that I have a neighbor that said this. He said, I wanted to see you and talk to you. Do you know that's the Christ in him that wanted to see himself?
Yes.
If you've done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto him. If you don't do it unto the least of them, you don't do it unto him.
That's it.
So now we are finding out that it's not trying to study, read, and pray all night and fast and pray till you get so skinny you can squeeze in your door of your car without opening the door. And it's not about running from church to a place where you get so holy and sanctified, and you're no longer asking God to stand outside the shower because you don't want to get him wet. He don't mind getting wet. The Christ that you are is no longer up there and down there. He is the I am self of all of us, whether we are in or out of the church. And we always say, if you're in Christ, you go where people who say the same thing. No,
Not
it don't
necessarily.
change anything because you don't go where they talking this kind of stuff.
That's it. It doesn't change anything.
Now you are aware of how easy, mash the button. This is easy. Mash it again. This is easy. You cannot sneak up on God. And listen to this. There are churches all over this country now playing the pretty music. I'm not putting it down. I'm telling you how easy it is to see Christ without music. And they saying God really showed up.
Yeah.
Well, where was it when you came in the door?
What they mean then is that
Oh,
my mind and my feelings just became aware of God who was already here.
It's another conditioning.
Yeah, it is.
What we're
It
saying,
is.
you don't have to condition yourself. This has always been there, even before conceiving conception in the womb.
Now I wanted to show you because somebody asked.
Yeah,
for this.
that's the book.
It's called Know Yourself. And I can't pronounce the name of the author because this is a Sufi person who was enlightened.
I think I got that book from Amazon.
No, my brother-in-law gave
Is
me
that what
this
it was?
book, and then I think you bought a separate one because we have two.
Yeah, okay. That's one of the best ones.
This is a very good way of seeing what
A piece of
oneness
gold.
looks like.
I'm really
Yes.
desiring to order more and give them out to certain places I go in churches. That well let's see. And let me back up. I'm sorry. I won't. That's not right. I won't do that. I'm talking what I used to do. We used to want to do. I had to check that right then. No, I can't give it out to everybody in church.
You cannot. You cannot.
But I will say this.
Well, go ahead. I want to mention.
Let me tell you something else I've picked up. If you do give this out in church, and the repercussions that come back at you from a dark point of view, you know what that is? That is giving you the same experience of why, if the story is correct, and I believe at this point it is, they rejected Jesus, who said he and the Father were one and the same. They will crucify you with their scripture quotation and asking you, is it in the book? I don't see that in the book. It's in the book because John, in the book of John, it says,
yeah, it's all
I'm
through,
the Father
through
one.
the Bible.
It's all over. It's all over there. But the ego and the mind fights against this because once you fully accept this, let me tell you something. When this is fully accepted, I found out that I was doing things to get the power of God to come through me to work miracles in my younger days, and it worked in separation. But I'm telling you how to enter into rest and go into the depthness of your true identity and still have the same miracles.
Let me say this too, Pastor, because this is not for us to have power.
No, it's not. But the miracle that comes from resting is love.
The only power there is in this awakening is the power to know yourself and to find that place inside this psyche.
We call it the secret place.
To find that place inside of this psyche where there's no disturbance.
That's right.
This is
that's
for
the miracle.
You. This is for you personally.
That's what the Course in Miracles is talking about.
This is not to share with everyone. This is for you. This is for your benefit. This isn't for the benefit of your spouse, your family, the churches, and all the people that you think need to be changed.
Right.
This isn't for them.
Right.
This is to benefit you.
So
don't when you hear this, don't think, well, I wish I could tell this person.
Yeah.
Like you said,
yeah.
I could tell that person.
I had to stop myself.
There's no urgency in this to mess with anyone else, because you realize if they are going to be changed at all, it has to change here.
And
because this is the same as that.
Christ will find the way, because he is the way that need to be revealed as to when, where, and how to release this to certain places, people, to think. But I'll tell you this, this is the caution. This is not a field caution. You will find the effort to do this less and less as you become more aware.
That's right.
Of this that you are.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself not even feeling, watch this, like some people say, when you get saved, you need to tell everybody. As you wake up to your true self, the less you want to mess in people's space.
All right, let me give you another analogy. Let's just say you have come up as a wave, and now you're looking out over the ocean and you see all these other waves coming too. and you think, I need to help them. I need to tell them because I'm now aware of who I am. I need to tell them who they are. That wave is not going to accept what you say. They have to see it for themselves.
Now Brown got a good one there.
Yes.
Hit
Everyone has to wake up from the dream differently. He
Right.
wants to experience that in
That's right.
himself. Thank you, darling.
Now,
Thank you.
you just nipped it in the bud. All that we said, you just said it real simple and easy.
Yes.
Now that's good. That's a good word. That's a good word. That's a good word. We're hoping and affirming that you guys are putting this on your table because it was meant for you to hear this. And if there's any problems, it is coming from your mental left brain reasoning. We call it sophisticated reasoning. We don't put you in hell or heaven. Your hell is your friction of being agree and disagree. There is no such thing in the enlightenment of waking up. You hear and you learn how to move on or to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You are the undisturbed self.
Yes.
And you should not be disturbed because your brother, sister, mother don't get this. When my mama was in her suit body and we would take her to the emergency room, she would hear me talking to the doctors about the place that I went to on the other side. I always tell doctors, you know what, doc, I remember you when I had this experience, like near-death experience, living near life. And I said, I saw a place on the other side where you had your training, and you and I on the other side met each other. And some of the anesthesiologists would ask me, do you tell everybody this? I say, I tell everybody this in the emergency room because where you came from to be able to help us in medical science, you came from the heart of God. And I want you to know that your work here is the heart of God in you. That's it.
It is. I wanted to say about this book, they have on the back of it explanation of what this book is. It says, this short text on the unity of existence explains that to realize your essential oneness with reality, it is not necessary to eliminate your separate self or ego because that illusory self never existed. Rather, it is necessary to know your true self, to realize your own oneness with all being. Nothing essentially changes. When you know yourself, ignorance simply disappears, and how things really are becomes clear.
Now,
that's good.
That's good. Let me give you another one. Some of you guys out there know that the holiday season is in, and this is what we in the dream world created. Okay. Some of you have sent in love gifts and financial assistance to us in the past, and some of you are still doing it. And I know that it's a season where you have Christmas and Thanksgiving, but we're asking you if there's any way possible for you to increase this love gift to us. It is always appreciated, but greatly appreciated. I know things run tight sometimes because of the holidays, and I'm not begging you. I'm just asking you and the Christ in you. We need financial assistance and the cash app and the love give. And whatever you send, we appreciate it. And I'm not going to say any more about it right now, but on the 26th of December, this month.
26th of this month.
This month. I said November. I'm sorry. Not December. 26th of this month, November. I'm going to surgery. Actually,
the 27th. The 27th. Day before Thanksgiving. Pastor's going to have a second back surgery.
Yeah.
To correct something that took place after his recovery from the first one.
And there evidently must be some other people that I need to talk to and see and meet on this side that he said that I would just meet them. Don't have to say anything to them, but meet them to make change in their life. I'm asking you guys if you could send a little extra to help us keep going with our house. This is very important. And we will alert you through the classes how we're doing with this, plus the giving that we're giving to the other.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, Pastor, that when you give your tithes and your offerings to Cornerstone, we take a tenth of your tithes and offering and tithe off of it to Crisis Control Ministries. And there are probably other charitable organizations that we're going to add to this. Crisis Control, we chose Crisis Control because we knew that during the time of the hurricanes, they were working to bring relief to people, and they still are. And I know that I mentioned this before, that my brother got into some really hard time, and they helped him tremendously, gave him all of his medications until he was able to get Medicaid, and gave him groceries every week. They gave him money to help him get his lights turned back on, and they help people to get heat and fuel for for the winter. They help in so many ways. They help people to keep their houses if they get behind in their rent. So this is a very good place to actually tithe off of your tithes.
And I'm glad you said that again, because we are at a point where we are asking for assistance in different areas, not that particular area, but some, as well as her brother. And the help was presented to him. And I think that some of you guys out there are the help to others as well as for us.
Now, and again, don't forget Pastor's birthday's coming up, and I want you guys to please come. Please come. It's gonna be on the 16th of November. That's a Saturday, and that's gonna be for a breakfast at 9:30 to 11. And our sweetie pie, Anita Blue, helped with, she and Laverne got together and they got the place together. I don't think it's in a private dining room, but it is in a separate section or sectioned off for simply us. And so we're looking forward to being with you that morning and share a biscuit and loving on you and just seeing you again and having a chance to celebrate Pastor's 77th birthday. So I hope you can come.
Christ in all in Christ. I hope you enjoyed the class. We did, and I'm hoping we can stay on the rabbit trail and keep that smell of the rabbit in our nose and watch our dog hunt.
I certainly enjoyed. I certainly did.
That's a real tasty.
Yeah, man. It's always good to have a refresher.
That was better than trick-or-treat candy.
Speaking of trick-or-treat candy, I completely forgot it was Halloween the other day, and I was watching TV. You were upstairs sleeping, and I was in there watching TV and about half asleep, and all of a sudden the front doorbell rang, and I said, "Who is that?" So I got up. Baby girl, of course, was barking like crazy. I got up and went to the front door, and when I got to the door and opened it, it was my neighbor Jan, and she was standing there in a full-length bunny suit with a basket of candy, giving out candy instead of trick-or-treating. She was giving it out.
She was doing Easter and Halloween.
And you have to see her. She's this small, petite little thing, and so you would probably think she was a child.
And when she come to our house, she don't want to sit in the chair. She want to sit on the floor. And when she's outdoors helping the wife in the yard, she don't want to sit in a stool or chair. She want to sit in the ground.
So she had her little basket and she said, "Trick or treat." And I said, "Jan, what are you doing?" And she said, "Here, take some candy." So I said, "You're not supposed to be giving it out. You're supposed to be getting it." So it was just funny. Trick or treat.
But I told Miss Jen, I said, you don't keep sitting on that ground. A bug gonna crawl up your leg.
Oh, don't say it now. Don't start. Don't start that.
But anyway, thank you so much for your presence. I heard that there was a neighbor in a neighborhood whose father had passed, and my wife told me about it.
Mhm.
And I immediately got in my Jeep and went up to their house. And the first thing they said, what we see more than anything that you have said to us to comfort us is that you thought enough of us to come right away to our house and comfort us.
See, that's the thing. Words don't move people as much as what you show people.
Yeah,
So show the love. Show the love.
Yeah.
Don't talk it. Show
Sure.
the love.
that's right.
Show the oneness. Don't talk it. Show it. Show the forgiveness. Don't talk about it. Show it.
That's right.
And then you will be manifested God in the earth. And that's the wonderful part about it. You don't have to be anything different.
That's right.
Just be yourself.
I keep hearing that song like the dew in the morning. You are
Gently
resting
upon my heart.
Mhm. I'd say I put extra words in there.
Yeah, I know. You'll make up a song in a minute. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
And
at
love
7.
and love lifted you.
And I hope Pastor Norman will be with us too. I hope
Yeah.
he'll be with us on Tuesday because he's such a good conversationalist.
Yeah.
We all have such a great
We
time.
had a good time with you this morning.
Mhm. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There is a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with danger. A place that is gentle, kind and light, and nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place of smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, when time seems to rewind, and to youth we all return. There is a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with